Hello, I'm Ali Khan, Industry Cloud Leader at PwC, and I'll be your host today. Today, we're here to talk about our PwC Industry Cloud, which we believe can help drive the future of our cloud innovation for clients across industries. Here to talk about what this means in detail is Cenk Özdemir, our PwC Cloud and Digital Leader, and Suneet Dua, our Products and Solutions Leader. Cenk, let me turn to you first. As a leader of the PwC Cloud and Digital business, you have a pulse on where the cloud market traditionally was and where it's headed. Can you please provide a quick overview of that evolution with respect to what our executives are looking for in the future?
So Ali, first, thanks for inviting us. This is a great discussion and very timely. A lot of our clients have moved to the cloud and or working on moving to the cloud. The cloud market is actually in its second phase. We call it the Cloud 2.0. The Cloud 1.0, which has been around for a few years with the, let's call it the invention of the hyperscalers / cloud service providers, has been really focused on migration of infrastructure. So movement of the data and the workloads to the cloud. We call that 1.0. However, when you look at how we look at the cloud journey as PwC, right? We simplified it very much. It's 4 steps. You do a cloud strategy, step 1. That strategy, what do you move to the cloud, public, private, edge? And how do you train your organization, skills, cyber, consider all that? That's strategy, step 1. Step 2 is after that strategy, you move your apps and data to the cloud. And then 3 and 4 can run concurrently, but 3 is modernization. So you moved an app to the cloud. Now I'm going to tie it to all those microservices. Like I'm going to take a legacy application that's running in the cloud and tie it to IoT or a data science microservice, right? That's modernization. And at some point, a lot of our clients are going to do step 4, which is cloud native development. If I have a 20, 30-year-old front office, middle office application, if I have some customer billing that I have to rewrite, we think that that rewrite is going to happen with cloud native technologies, 4th-generation languages. So right now, we're in that inflection point of a lot of our clients actually start with step 2, which is the migration. They took the flexibility of the cloud. You can spin up servers very quickly. They're reapping the benefits, also getting the cloud savings. But now, we're now looking at, can we go back to step 1 again and revamp our strategy or even build a strategy? Then we can modernize. So it's a very interesting point in time. And there's also a bigger discussion around value, as we all hear about.
Thank you, Cenk. That's a very interesting perspective. Let me turn to the second proposition. Most companies are either operating in the cloud or in the process of moving there. However, one of the consistent themes we hear is the gap between the anticipated and the realized value of cloud. Can you talk a little bit about what that gap means and why does it exist?
We just did our 2023 cloud survey. We heard a few things coming out of our, about over 1,000 clients we talked to. What they're saying is, at the highest level, we're not getting value out of the cloud. And you have to unpack that statement. What is the value we're getting? What is the value we're not getting? When you go back to my previous discussion around the fact that if you've moved a lot of apps and data to the cloud, but you haven't touched them, okay? And in the process, going to the cloud, your upfront costs are going to be a little higher because just for natural reasons. It's a new technology. You have to train your people. You have to get your DevSecOps. You have to get a good cyber. In fact, there's some more complexity that's created by this. So the value is if you moved up and haven't touched those applications, you have not modernized them, you have not tied them into microservices, or you haven't started rewriting your applications in cloud native, your value out of the cloud is going to be very minimal. In fact, in some cases, you might have even, let's say you over-purchased consumption. So you're thinking that, well, I moved. Okay, I initially turned my, CapEx to OpEx. That's great. But a lot of our clients also think of it, that's a sunk cost. That's like in the past. So what's the future value? That future value is going to come from those steps 3 and 4. So the value discussion is going to be here for a while. We think that it's going to last for a few years until our clients recognize that the next 2 steps of the journey is where the value is. And I think Suneet's going to talk about that value. And that value is also going to be unlocked at the industry and function level.
Suneet, your perspective on this?
Cenk hit key points there, Ali. One is the business model reinvention to the value. So CFOs who look at the books every day, they're still waiting for that return on investment. And what's happening is bending the cost curve to move to Cloud 2.0 is not the answer. It's that business model reinvention, part of that strategy that we do. But then you got to take it to that industry level. You got to take it to that level of the function and the actual process friction that's broken. And this is why CFOs have a bit of friction with their technology organization, because moving to Cloud 2.0 is the right way to do it as part of the modernization. But what's not happening is that value is coming quicker because you're not taking away that process friction. And I think with the Cloud 2.0 and all these AI new technologies that are out now, with the CSPs, combined with what we're doing in Industry Cloud, is we're now laying out the actual business model reinvention, right? We're creating new revenue channels through Industry Cloud, taking that tech-enabled experience, making it even better, and doing it at a lower cost curve. I think that's exactly what CFOs need to see, but that's the opportunity for us. We have to take it at that specific level. The 1.0 cloud piece was just they were afraid. They were apprehensive on what do we do there. We're past that. We're past it. It's now, how do you move, especially in this world right where we are in this economy, you have to move to this modernization, but you got to show value really quick.
Suneet, coming back to something that Jang mentioned earlier on the market fit as PwC's products and solutions leader, can you expound on what PwC Industry Cloud proposition really is and how it's uniquely qualified from a market perspective?
For the number of years I've been here, and for 170 years we've been in business, we are a firm that's industry first at all times. Where we started with moving to what we call building out the Industry Cloud solution or platform, it's all about taking the best of our leaders, of our industry leaders, and thinking about what is the future use case of tomorrow. And thinking about what do our customers, our clients need in this future use case, whether it's the digital bank, whether it's 2.0 for insurance, or whether it's reinvention in the energy marketplace and renewables. Our partners and our experts are coming up with now what are those business use cases in those specific industries, working with the CSPs that Jank mentioned, and coming up with a solution, end-to-end solution. I think in the past, where we would have a point solution and stop, I think with Jank's business of cloud and digital, you start with the strategy, but the strategy is not a point solution. It's an end-to-end view, and now we're backing it up with a platform, right, that's enabling that, what I called before, the business model reinvention. It's really exciting for us. We're putting quite a bit of investment in this. I think this is the first time in my time in the firm in 30 years that we've seen this type of investment on where Cloud 2.0 is and industry specific.
Suneet, as you just mentioned, PwC is making significant investment in Industry Cloud offering. Can you talk a little bit about how these investments are aligned with our capabilities and how we expect to deliver them to the executives in the market? And why is PwC uniquely poised to be able to deliver this Industry Cloud proposition?
We as a firm have truly looked at not pushing one particular technology, pushing one particular cloud service provider. We take a step back and saying, what's the best of the best for that specific industry? And then we work with our cloud service providers or our alliance partners to really develop a very specific solution. The reason, the first question you asked about value is CFOs and C-suite, they can't have generic builds. That was the old days, like where they would build this heavy infrastructure and they wouldn't see the value. You have to show pretty quickly, right, with our solution, how do you create a new revenue channel? Changing that business model completely different, or bending a cost curve to a certain point where you actually have a great tech experience. That's the value of our Industry Cloud. One, right, industry relevant. Two, we are playing with all the CSPs the right way, and we're being really specific on the industry we're going in and truly taking out that process friction.
So this is a very incisive perspective that both of you have shared on the PwC Industry Cloud. Building on Suneet's insights, Jank, can you provide a quick overview of how our technology ecosystem landscape fits into our Industry Cloud journey as a whole?
I think to understand where we're at, we have to look back a few years to the last wave of technology. Last wave of technology meaning not just as far as client server and all that stuff, but going back to the evolution of the, let's call it the ERPs and SaaSes of the world. When those technologies came out, what they over in time evolved into is a very industry specific capabilities. You know, you could do ERP transactions, but if you're in oil and gas or retail, you wanted some features and functions that help your industry to be more efficient and effective and cost saving and added analytics KPIs. So that whole thing evolved into a point where every ERP and SaaS had to have those industry specifics. The similar transition is going to happen in the cloud. The cloud meaning, you know, you can look at cloud as an infrastructure, or you can look at cloud as an enabler for transformation. So when we look at that enabler as a transformation point of view, what we think is that, you know, when everybody moves to the cloud, you know, in that, you know, 4-step journey we talked about, right? At some point, the CSPs will have to provide those cloud specifics in the industry level, right? But when you step back to see what we're doing inside of PwC, our industry cloud approach is not just the CSP. When you look at every industry, anyone, healthcare, you look at banking, you look at industrial products, those industries have clusters of applications alongside with core cloud applications that are going to be the next gen. Right? So one thing we're trying to do is with our industry knowledge and technology knowledge, we are trying to help our clients assess where those technologies are going. But the second thing is in every industry cloud that we're building, there will be multiple pieces of technology providers. And in some cases, there'll be a core ERP, a SaaS, bunch of third-party applications, industry-specific applications, a CSP architecture around it, CSP features. So because of this, right, the whole hybrid architecture aspects of each industry, these ecosystem relationships and ecosystem investments are going to be extremely critical.
Yeah, and Ali, I'll add just 2 points. The agility and the flexibility of our strategy for the industry cloud, it's really synergistic with where the CSPs want to be and where we want to be with our clients. There's a saying that I say, and you and I talk about it all the time. It's that last mile that's really important. The archaic systems that need to be modernized, as Cenk said, we're going to do that. A lot of folks are going to jump on it. But it's that last mile, which is the longest mile. That's the process piece. That's the business functions. That's going deep into changing the business models of these industries and these companies. I think that's where we are leading from that perspective.
Thank you. This has been a very exciting discussion. So we started with a Cloud 1.0 business. The Cloud 1.0 business is still alive and kicking in the market, and it will be for the foreseeable future. But at the same rate, there's a Cloud 2.0 business, which is the industry cloud business that is rapidly, some might argue exponentially, is being stood up. And these two businesses will operate rather closely and jointly with each other. And then back to your commentary around the PwC perspective in this, we are uniquely poised because our business is anchored in our functional transformation knowledge. And that is how we actually take our business to the market, our technology business in general, and more specifically our cloud business. And then in terms of the comments that Cenk made, how the market is evolving, you know, we see that the SaaS providers are accretive to this, the ERP providers are accretive to this, the CSP providers are accretive to this. But the important part is the interesting commentary from Cenk around the evolution of the reference architecture, the ecosystem across industry, which is going to take all of these various players in different capacities and put them together. And that evolution the market still has to see because it's constantly evolving, as you said, in a 3 to 6 month cycle. The important part for PwC really is the last mile customer engagement, as you pointed out, Suneet, which is, yes, we can do all of these things on the back end, the last mile customer interaction, understanding what the client needs are. The delivery function is weak, and that's where PwC comes in because we have very established, very long-running relationships with most of our clients, and we really understand what our customers want, so we can take all of the scaffolding that will be stood up and is being stood up, and we can deliver it to our clients.
We're here to unlock some real value beyond migration to the cloud to create business model reinvention.
PwC is in a unique position to be able to advance the technology and the business agenda of our clients.
Absolutely. First, cloud is a journey. It's not going to be done. There's actually the technology and the capabilities are changing every 2-3 months. Our view in PwC is that we want to unlock some real value beyond migration for our clients. And we think that that will come through a business model reinvention once they start modernizing and also create cloud native applications that takes them to the next gen of the front office, middle office, back office. So from that perspective, I think we're very excited and we're ready to help our clients for that value journey.
One of the stats I saw in our cloud survey was approximately around 50% of the executives still don't believe in industry cloud. I don't think that's an issue. It's a good challenge for us, but that's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to goes back to that first question of how are you helping your CIO, CTO bring the value back to the other C-suite on this is not a nice to have, this is a must to do to modernize your business model reinvention, and bend the cost curve, right, in the Cloud 2.0 world. So I'm excited by that because now that takes us, it makes our solution quite relevant, and then especially that last mile we talked about.
Suneet, Cenk, thank you so much for joining us in this wonderful conversation today.
Thanks for inviting us.
Thank you.
Thank you. And to our viewers, thank you for joining the discussion. For more information on these topics, please visit pwc.com.